Hi Virgo, welcome to this reading. My name is Linda. This is a reading for the period of the month of August, but it can also be relevant at any time you find it. So if you find informational messages in here that are relevant for your situation, then this reading is for you. I've already pre-shuffled the cards and laid out the spread. What we have here is where you are now, the challenge you face, the resources you can use. Oh look, King of Swords, Knight of Swords, both reversed. Then we have here, what are the hidden forces? And this is what is the potential outcome. We're going to take one rune as well here to understand what is the spiritual lesson in your situation. Okay. Okay, let's have a look. So where you are now, the Hermit in reverse. So Hermit in reverse can be a couple of things. It can be that it's maybe describing a time now where you maybe you have been kind of keeping to yourself and like just going within and taking care of your own matters without being too much involved in the outside world or in socializing. And that maybe this is a time now for that to kind of change and for you to come out a little bit more into the world. Or it could be the other way around, where it is saying that you maybe do need some solitude. You need to maybe withdraw from the world and withdraw from matters going on around you, or too much of socializing, and maybe that could be a distraction at the moment. See if I can get this to be a little bit clearer. And I would say that it's probably the second one being more of the case, because you have these two swords cards here in the reverse position. I kind of feel like the energy here is saying that you might need a little bit more time in your life to slow down, because this energy is very fast moving. Both of the swords suit represents the element of air. So it's about thoughts and ideas, and it's about communication, and it's concepts as well. So both of these coming out in the reverse position is kind of suggesting to me that this might be a time where you need to kind of just gather all your thoughts and put together your energy internally in a quiet way, without too much of the distraction of other people's opinions or ideas influencing you too much at this time. Because I feel like there's an energy here of things transitioning and changing for you, because you have the Wheel of Fortune here in reverse. And I think this is going to require you to be very stable and internally. I'm hearing the word steadfast. I'm going to look that up on the dictionary so I can understand what the message is there. Resolutely or dutifully firm and unwavering. Yeah, that makes sense. I think you need to pay attention to your own events, your own activities, your own thoughts, your own situations and events that are unfolding for you personally, and withdraw your energy somewhat from external activities or people in your environment that might be influencing you somehow, whether that's directly or indirectly. Because with the King of Swords there in reverse, this card is in the position of the challenge you face. Now the King of Swords in the reverse position, this could be describing a person, or it could be talking about you. So either way, the King of Swords in reverse is not necessarily a beneficial energy. It could be someone who's in your environment that is maybe nitpicky or scrutinizing you too much or judging you somehow. Or if it's describing yourself, it could be alluding to the fact that maybe right now you are not thinking very clearly. And that's why the Hermit is in reverse here, because you might need to withdraw, because I feel like there's people in your energy that are influencing you too strongly. And this is saying to me that you need to just get some space from people and from distractions in your environment, so that you can start to get your head straight. I feel like there's a need here for you to just be really clear and precise in your thinking and in the way that you are processing information and with your internal dialogue, so that you can understand better what all exactly you're dealing with right here. Because I feel like you're in a situation right now where there's energy in flux. There's something transitioning here with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and the Temperance card in reverse. There are things changing in your energy, and you might feel a little bit thrown off by it. Your energy is a little bit... How do I explain that? Your energy is a little bit topsy-turvy. It's a little upside down, up in the air. It doesn't feel very grounded. Look, all the cards are in reverse. Now, that's not necessarily meaning that there's something bad here. But I feel like, again, with that word steadfast coming through, I feel like there's a need here for you to become more centered in your own energy so that you can be more grounded and more stable internally and more steady, more true. Like finding your inner compass, your true north is where this top line is kind of leading me to conclude, you know. The Knight of Swords is in the position of the reading of what resources you can use. So Knight of Swords in reverse is telling me to slow down. It's saying that you need to slow down. You need to be more patient with yourself. You need to be more patient with yourself. You need to be more patient as well with the experiences that are happening, like the events that are unfolding. And it's also very clearly with both of these cards kind of giving a warning about communication. It's saying here, be careful not to communicate out of impatience. It's saying be careful not to communicate or express things without being very clearly grounded and centered in your own energy, without clearly understanding exactly what you're dealing with and dealing with it from a place of harmony and balance within. You have the Temperance card here in reverse. I'll get to that in a minute, but that's also kind of saying here, like, your energy is not really clear. There's like a muddled energy here that sort of feels to me like there's some transitional energy, like changes are happening and things are in flux in a way that is kind of like your energy is not completely stabilized, and you might not be handling this transition very well. Which is why, again, coming back to the Hermit in reverse, this could be very clear guidance here from your higher self and your guide saying this could be a really good time to withdraw from distracting events and people, and just kind of take your energy back for yourself so you can get stabilized, so that you can get clear in what's happening, and so that you can get your thoughts in order, so that you're going to be in a better position to handle the communications that you need to handle in order to move through this transitional period with more grace, with more stability, with more steadfastness, with more constancy and more internal balance. Yeah, it's really important that you don't speak out of anger or out of vengefulness here with these two swords cards in reverse. Be really careful about that. Just choose your words very carefully and make sure that you're in a very grounded and unemotional place when you do need to communicate to someone about something important. I feel like something important is happening here that is, again, causing you to feel a little flustered, a little off center, because there's like a changing energy here. With the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, this card is in the position of where you are, what are the hidden forces? Wheel of Fortune in reverse is what are the hidden forces. Now, in the upright position, the Wheel of Fortune speaks about a very positive turn of events where situations, circumstances are changing in a way that is like you finally seeing the fruits of your labor, let's say it like that, where things that you've put in motion some time ago are coming to fruition and you're seeing the blessings of all the hard work that you've put in finally, right? So seeing it come out in reverse here kind of, again, lends me to the conclusion that things are in flux. There are some changes occurring in your lives. You're in a transitional period, and things might feel like a little bit of a mess. That's what I'm feeling from this, the spread in general, but in particular the Wheel of Fortune. Like you might also be feeling here with the Wheel of Fortune. I'm getting this sense here that maybe you're kind of maybe doubling down and second guessing yourself as to whether or not choices you made in the past are actually the right ones. Because the Wheel of Fortune in reverse here, you could be feeling like maybe you didn't make the right decisions, and that could also be why these two, the Knight and the King of Swords, are in reverse. Because you might be feeling like, fuck, what did I do? I wasn't thinking clearly, I've made a mistake, or I've said the wrong thing, or I've made the wrong decision. But I don't feel that to be true. I feel like more of what the energy here is saying is that you've made changes that you needed to make because you wanted to transition. You wanted to shift out of a particular energy that you were in. But where you are now is still that transitional point. You haven't arrived yet at the place where you were directing your energy to go. And that's what happens when you make choices, when you want to make pretty big moves in life, and you need to make some significant changes. Things feel worse before they feel better. But this is just the road you've chosen, and you need to commit to that. You need to be steadfast to that. You need to be loyal to yourself and know that you made the right choice. Or if you didn't make the right choice, then change the direction again. But I don't feel that to be the case. I feel like you did make the right choice and you knew what you were doing, but perhaps you didn't expect that you would end up in such a muddled energy here. Maybe you thought that you'd make a decision and you'd end up in the new arena that you wanted to be in fairly quickly. But I'm here to tell you that there is a process involved here of like transitioning from one energy that you've been in to a new energy that you're moving towards. And this is kind of like everything's up in the air for now. Everything's up in the air. You don't necessarily know that you're going to land on your feet, but you will. And you need to hold to that. You need to be steadfast to that. You need to be loyal to your own self here and true to your own inner compass that's guiding you, that urged you to make this decision in the first place. All right, potential outcome here, we have the Temperance card in reverse. As I said, this is a card about balance. It's about compromise. It's about finding a stable center in the middle of a chaotic world. Okay, it's also about forgiveness and reconciliation. I'm hearing condolences as well. Let me look that up in the dictionary. Condolence, an expression of sympathy, especially on the occasion of a person's death, or a person's relative or a close friend. Okay, so that could be something, that could also be something that some of you are going through if there's like some kind of need here for sympathy or empathy. That could also be something that you're experiencing in this energy. What else can I say there about the Temperance in reverse? Mainly it's about balance, right? Like as I said, I think again, you've got three major arcana cards in your spread here, and they're all in reverse. So I do feel this is a very significant energy for you. It's a very significant time. I feel like it's a very significant transition that you're going through. I feel that you are moving from a pretty major chapter in your life into a new one, and maybe that new beginning hasn't started yet. You're still in the process of wrapping up, and that's requiring you to have a lot of grounding, a lot of balance, a lot of internal harmony so that you can move through this with grace. The Temperance card in reverse could also say here, be careful that you don't over-compromise on something in order to placate or satisfy people around you who might also be kind of giving off this influence of being very temperamental or bothered by the choices that you've made. And that might be making you feel, again, unsteady within, because it's making you double down and question or second guess the choice that you made because of the way people around you are reacting. And again, it's important to stay in your own energy, to check in with yourself, really confirm by spending the time in consultation with yourself to understand that the choices you made were actually the right ones for you. Look within and find the light, find that clarity, find that grounding. The staff here represents you being connected to your higher self or higher wisdom, higher knowledge into the ground. So it's grounding that energy of higher wisdom and guidance and impulses from the higher self or from your intuition into the ground. So utilize that energy of grounding, of being tapped in and connected to higher wisdom, higher thought, by being in the energy of the Hermit, which is to be a little bit withdrawn from people and away from the distractions and the influences of people who may not necessarily have the best intentions for you. Even if they think they do, it might just be white noise at this point. You need to listen to yourself here. That's really important. You need to listen to yourself. Now let's have a look at this rune. I'm just going to refer to my notes here with this. This rune is called Manaz. Yeah, exactly what I've been saying. It says here the self, the individual, the attitude towards others and their attitude towards you, friends and enemies, social order, intelligence, forethought, creation, skill and ability, divine structure, intelligence, awareness. Expect to receive some sort of aid or cooperation now. Exactly what I've been talking about. This is about you getting in touch with yourself. This is about your own self. See how there's these like two, it's a symmetric symbol. The way I'm seeing it is like you looking at yourself. Exactly what the Hermit does. The Hermit looks at themselves. The Hermit uses their will and their connection to source, to a higher intelligence, to understand who they are. And that's what the message is here. Like, use this time to really go within and study yourself, to understand who you really are, what you really need, and get in touch with your divine intelligence, with your deeper connection to a higher intelligence, and channel that wisdom into and forward into the steps you take next, into the actions you make, into the communications you have to move through this situation as succinctly as possible. Okay? Now, it did say there at the end of that little message that expect to receive some sort of aid or cooperation now. I'm actually going to say I don't feel that to be true in this situation. That could be, but I really feel like you're in this situation is a moment right now, specifically right now, where it's up to you to get in touch with yourself, get in tune with yourself, and to rely on yourself. I don't think this is a wise choice to make, to kind of expect that someone else is going to come along here and take care of this for you. I hate to say it, but you've made your bed, you've got to lie in it. You made the decisions that brought you to this point. Now you have to follow through and see this out until completion. And you can do it. You know that you've made the decision that you needed to. You already know that. Don't second guess yourself. Just keep following through. This is normal. When you have a major transition in life, you go through this stage where things are uncomfortable. That's not strange or unusual. It's to be expected here. And it will bring you to a place where things feel better, things feel more grounded and stable, things feel more clear and in alignment with what you need and what you desire. So don't give up on that. Don't give up on that. Don't compromise and go back on the choices you've made because you don't like how it feels right now. Don't do that. Don't overcompensate in that way. That's the wrong way to use that kind of energy. That's the wrong way to use the energy of the Temperance. Okay, Virgo? I'm going to leave it there. I hope you found that helpful. It's been an honor and a pleasure to read for you. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now.